Your life works. You can see that, but it doesn't feel like your own. That's not ingratitude, and it's not a sign that something is broken. In this video, I'm going to look at why a life can keep functioning long after it stops fitting, and use the integrity wheel to show exactly where this experience lands on the developmental map. And I'll leave you with the one distinction that changes how you read everything you've built. Here's what it tends to look like from the inside. You hit something, a milestone, a goal, a level of success you work toward for years, and it lands, and then it evaporates. Not slowly, almost immediately. You're already moving on to the next obligation, the next thing the structure requires, the next version of what maintaining this life asks of you. You keep functioning, you deliver what's expected, your calendar stays full, the roles get played, and somewhere in the middle of it all, you notice something. The distance between what your life looks like from the outside and what it feels like from the inside has been quietly growing. And you haven't been saying anything because from the outside, everything looks fine. If that's landing, please tap the like button. It helps other people in this exact space find this work. I remember a period when my practice and life were going well by every external measure. I was building something that looked exactly like I said I wanted. And I sat down one evening alone and felt almost nothing. Not sadness, not exhaustion, just distance between me and the life that was supposed to be mine. That moment was the first honest signal I'd let myself receive in a long time. If you've had a version of that moment, here's why it's worth paying attention to. There's a reason this gap is so hard to name, and locating it on the developmental map is the first move that actually helps. On the integrity wheel, a framework I developed for locating where you are in your own development, the season of summer is the season of building the career, the family, the reputation, the structure. This is the season where confidence becomes the organizing force, where you deliver, sustain, and protect what matters. And in summer, the wheel holds one integrity question above all others. What am I devoting my life force to? And is it still true? Not whether it was true when you started, is it still true now? The summer to autumn threshold is where that question stops being abstract. The outer life is still functioning. Nothing has visibly broken, but something has started pressing from inside. And one of the ways that pressure shows up is in this feeling. The life I built no longer feels like it was built for me, or it doesn't feel like how I imagined it would be. You may have heard the phrase working to live versus living to work. Role captivity is what happens when that second version takes over without you choosing it. When the role becomes so functional, so necessary, so tied to what other people depend on, that the role begins to live you instead of the other way around. You're too good at this to walk away, too responsible for the people who need you, too invested in what you've already built. And underneath all of that, which is real, is a quieter recognition that something no longer fits. The instinct at this threshold is to optimize better systems, better boundaries, a longer vacation, to try harder at the version of the life that's already built. And yet none of it touches the real problem. Because the real problem isn't the performance, it's the structure underneath it. A life can keep functioning after it stops telling the truth. So, what do we do about that? Here's the distinction that actually matters. Success proves that you built something. It does not prove that what you built still fits. Those are two different things. And confusing them is what keeps people inside a life that no longer reflects who they are. Because to question it would seem like ingratitude for the success. But a well built life and an aligned life are not the same thing. A life can be impressively functional and genuinely misaligned at the same time. The outer life working is evidence that you showed up and delivered. It is not evidence that the structure is still the right one for who you are now. The integrity work of summer is not dramatic. It's not about burning anything down or making a declaration. It's about one small, hard thing: stopping the performance of not noticing, not acting on the recognition immediately, just letting it be real, allowing it to surface into your consciousness of what you already know. This work gets more precise from here. New videos are published 2 to 3 times a week, and this is the work we explore together. If you haven't subscribed yet, join us as we explore leading an integrous life together. So here's what I'd like to leave you with. Look at what your life is asking you to keep giving, not the things you choose to give freely, the things the structure now requires of you to maintain the outer life, to keep the performance going, to hold everything together. And ask yourself honestly, is there a gap between what this life looks like from the outside and what it's actually costing you on the inside? You don't need to change anything today. You don't need a plan. You just need to stop pretending you don't have the recognition you already have. That act of honesty, quiet, private, just between you and what you already know, is where this work actually starts. What does the gap look like for you right now? Let me know in the comments. When you start to see that your life no longer fits, the next question that tends to arise is a harder one. What happens to the people who've been comfortable with the version of you that kept performing it? In the next video, I'm going to look at what it costs when your values run into belonging, and what kind of belonging is actually worth protecting. The right choices and the good feelings are not always the same. I'll see you in the next one.